real quick and say thank you, Atlanta. We've been really blessed to be in the industry for 25 years, meaning the tree care industry, and to be able to save our community, serve our community, save our community, serve our community with quality tree care. Just a chance for me to kind of come on, answer some questions, tell you a little bit about our company, a little bit about what we do, and how we came to be, so to speak. So if you do have a question about your trees or about our company or what we do, we would love for you to just, drop your question right here in the comments. And yeah, we'll be able to share this with you. I might, Jeremy.
I'm gonna
Jeremy,
crash the party.
please crash the party.
So I'm getting.
But you're gonna crash it over here.
Yeah, pretty
Because
much.
I hate those
You don't
ceiling
like those
things.
lights?
No, it's the
okay.
lights
All
is
right,
it's
I'll
the
come over
ceiling
here.
tiles.
Okay.
So we're gonna introduce you to Jeremy. Jeremy's awesome.
Hey, so we've got a lot of people that have been asking us about winter trimming, and so I'm going to just throw a couple things in here. If you imagine that the trees are like a tide, and Donnie taught me this a long time ago, so forgive me if you've already heard this.
He's just super smart.
Well, the trees are like a tide. And in the spring and summer, this is when they're going to come out. And then in the fall and winter is when they're going to pull back in and they go into that dormant season. If we trim them now and we trim them to give them the shape that we really want them to have, they look amazing throughout the holidays. And then they heal. And when they heal, we get to that spring season. And when all that energy is coming back out, it's going into those healthy limbs. It's going into and reinforcing those, making them stronger. It also creates some amazing color that we don't always get when all that energy is being spread out in so many different areas. So right now, especially if you've got crepe myrtles, if you've got your small decorative plants, or you've got things that you notice the limbs themselves are sort of drooping down, this is the perfect time of the year to trim those back. And a lot of these trees, we don't need to cut down, but if we trim them back about a third, it's called reducing them. Then when we can reduce it, it gets a chance to strengthen up throughout the holidays and the season. And so when we get to springtime, they look really amazing. And next year, they're even more beautiful when the leaves are changing. So just looking at that whole seasonal approach to the tree care is something that we've had a lot of people asking us about. And I just wanted to touch base on that real quick. So apologize for interrupting. But
No, don't apologize, because I love it when he's here. And actually, Jeremy's been with us for a few years, and we love him. He's just really great, and our customers absolutely love him. But people want to know us. They want to get to know us a little bit. Tell the people a little bit why you do what you do and how you got started with the company.
Well, actually, Donnie and I had met at a few networking events. We bumped into each other, and we met just before the pandemic hit. If I call it the pandy, it's not disrespect. It's the pandy for me and a lot of my friends. It's the pandy. So when the pandy hit, I was looking around. I was working with a few different crews, and everybody was shutting down. Everybody was sort of coming back in. They were saying, okay, we got to protect ourselves. We got to do this. We got to do that. But I noticed something. I kept seeing a lot of red trucks, and I saw a lot of movement, and I saw people engaged in service. And I said, wait a second, what's going on over there? So I reached out to Donnie and I said, hey, look, what do you got going on? She's like, honestly, Jeremy, I'd love to talk to you, but we are so busy right now. Can we schedule something in 2 weeks? I said, 2 weeks for a 5-minute phone call? She said, honestly, yes, we are slammed. I said, okay, great. And then I thought about it. I said, wait a second, what do you need? She said, honestly, we need a few salespeople. I said, okay, well, maybe, what about me? And she said, are you serious? I said, yeah, sure. Well, I mean, I don't know a ton about trees, but you seem to know it really well. Maybe you can teach me what I need to know so I can be of service. And instead of like coming back into our cocoon and doing what we need to do in that regard, we can actually be proactive and help be of service. And so that's where we started. And she said, if you're willing to do the work, I'm willing to teach you. And that's where I learned a little bit here, a little bit there. And you stack that little bit over 5 years. I know much more now than I ever did in Boy Scouts. And
But his Boy Scout training comes in handy with this company. It really does.
every now and then there are. One of the things that I love about this industry is there's so many different ways to be of service. There's so many things that need real world application. You need to understand a little bit of physics. You need to understand a little bit of math. But more importantly, you need to understand common sense.
And people. Yeah.
And I tell you, one of the things that I really love is the men that we work with and the care that they put into what they do gives me the ability to stand behind and know that even if I don't know something, if they get to a situation where they're looking at it and they say, hey, look, we need to make this adjustment here and that adjustment there, I know I can completely have faith in them to make the right choice and the best choice for the tree, for the customer, for the safety of the environment, to make sure that people are really taken care of, not just in a transactional sense, but taken care of from a standpoint of a total experience that's going to be there long after we leave. And so that's sort of why I came and why she lets me hang around a little bit longer. So.
He gets a lot of grace because he's amazing with people, absolutely amazing with people. But the bottom line is, it really is about our people. Like, we couldn't do what we do without our people. People like Jeremy, people like Abdi, people like Diego, people like Ayud, Fatima, Maria, Megan.
Megan's kind of awesome.
I can't forget Megan. That's actually my daughter too. But Bilson, we brought on a new mechanic, Lazaro, and we got all our crew leads, Eric, Omar, Dennis, Clinton, Abdel, Jose. So we've got Elmer.
Amazing work when it comes to landscaping.
That's right, because we created a landscape division. So people go, what's the difference? Like, you could call any tree service, and I would say it's our people. And people, I know a lot of companies say it's their people, but even just looking back at our core values, I didn't personally come up with our core values. We worked as a team to come up with who we are as a company. And it always goes back to those core values, which are kind of flipped backwards right now because of the camera, but they're love, respect, integrity, teamwork, discipline, consistency, and gratitude. And that's what we do to work hard to take care of our customers, to take care of our team. And once again, we hop on here just in case you have questions or concerns. And actually, I'm going to check to see if there were any questions. Don't see anything yet. All right. Also, I might be looking in the wrong spot too. So
there's a term. It's called techno-peasant. There's a techno guru, there's a techno wizard, there's also a techno peasant. So realize,
I don't think I'm a techno peasant, but it's not. Let's just say there's people that know more about technology than I do. And thank you for watching. LAX? God. Okay. All right. Well, just go with that. Cool. Thank you for watching. But he had mentioned talking about doing pruning this time of year, as far as crown cleaning and making sure we get those unhealthy limbs taken out of your trees. But the other reason why you want to start really focusing on your trees right now is because this is the season when you're going to have storms.
Yeah.
And when you have rain and wind and stuff like that.
I just got the weather report for the end of October. Please, if you've got any concerns, we're going to get are scheduled, and according to Ryan Hall and other amazing people, if you don't know Ryan Hall, Ryan Hall is an amazing man who focuses on, he's got an amazing YouTube channel, and he is one of the better forecasters of weather and somebody to follow ongoingly. But he was predicting, and a lot of other people are predicting, that we're going to have a really rough end of October. So if we can get those trimmings done now, especially if you've got places where you've had some fallen limbs and things like that, if we address those now, it's a heck of a lot easier to get them cut down than it is to clean up the mess and anything that might hit.
That's right.
So sorry for interrupting again.
No, but that's why we're here. This is not scripted, y'all. This is what we do. Once again, we dump on because we want to be of value, but we really do want you to schedule your appointments to get a quote, to get an estimate, to find out, what you can do to take care of your trees and keep your trees healthy and ready for the next season. So going into the holidays, you don't even have to think about that. It's just done. So
yeah. And there's a couple little things. It's like I was speaking with someone yesterday, and they were looking at trimming all of the limbs on one side of the tree. I said, well, if we did that, let's just look at the tree real quick. The tree's been growing this way because all the sun is coming from this way. There's no limbs on this side. So if we took all the limbs off this side, all we got's a stick. And I said, that may not be the look you're going for.
No, I'm pretty sure.
And so it wasn't until after we started having a conversation.
Yeah.
And one of the things I love, there's the people that I've gotten a chance to learn from here. Abdi Gonzalez has just been amazing for leading by example.
Yeah.
And Diego, what he brings to the table, if you get a chance to speak with him, Diego's going to help you understand really what's going on.
Yeah.
Megan's grew up in this industry. She literally was going on quotes when she was 5, 6, 7 years old. And she's got more experience than 90% of us because she's actually experienced it real world in the moment. And
she was in a car seat.
yeah. Yeah. So, I'm like, oh, I got 5 years. She's like, well, I'm 19 and I've got 15 years. I'm like, you're right, you do. And it's amazing because it's about what we learn and how we can express through education. And if we can educate someone to better understand what's going on with their tree, then you make the best choice.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for. We're not, we've been in, it's Atlanta, this company specifically,
25.
Don's Tree Service, largest, oldest, black, it's kind, she doesn't always like me to say that.
I-
But of its kind in Atlanta, the greater Atlanta metro area, there's nobody that's been doing this longer with more love and more care.
Thank
And it gets clunky. Business is clunky. Having your own business is clunky. Dealing with people, a little clunky. It's never going to be like that beautiful, pristine moment. But what we do is we're here to help get each other the storm.
Yeah.
And in our business, it's actually the storm. We really focus on making sure that you can look at your trees and have confidence that, yeah, that was done right. Okay, nope, this needs to be done because we need to adjust to prepare for what's coming. And in the world of tree care, we want to make sure you've got what you need. Hey, wait a second. We got Zechariah, Lex, Laura. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for being here.
And if y'all got anything you want to throw in the chat, if you got questions for Donnie and myself, I might even grab one of these other guys just to see what they have to say.
Yeah, I think Abby can't wait to be on camera.
He is. This guy, this man has a skill of always finding something that requires his specific attention
Yeah,
anytime we
exactly.
go live.
Yeah,
It is an
exactly.
art form. He's really perfected this.
Yeah, I feel like he really wants to be on camera right now. He's
He would be like the guy, what was that, in Home Improvement? There
Yeah.
was always the guy on the other side of the fence, all you saw was his hat and his eyes.
yeah.
Abdi is that guy.
Yeah.
For pretty much anything. We should probably just include the back of his head.
I think we should.
That would just be the
I'm gonna let you get that shot. Go ahead and get
Wait
the
a second.
shot.
What was the finger?
We're gonna have a little
What
fun
was
without
that?
showing
What-
the
Abdi,
dirty
what were you gonna say?
tiles in
What were
the
you gonna say?
ceiling. he's-
Abby, this is yeah.
Abby's over there.
Completely not gonna say or turn around or
You gotta turn around and say hi, Abdi.
Okay, that's about as much as you get. Okay,
Yeah,
you
we're
gotta
not
call
getting
him out.
anything else. Yeah.
You actually have to request a quote from Abdi if you actually want to hear it.
Yeah.
He is a man of few words, but what he has to say, you can rely on.
Exactly.
We have a lot of fun here,
Yeah.
and we go through ups and downs. Just like dealing with trees, just like dealing with nature, nature is clunky. It is not always pretty and pristine. But, somebody told me, and I heard a brilliant sermon. It was something that Paul Harvey, you remember Paul Harvey, right? The rest of the story?
No.
Okay.
No, I've heard of Paul Harvey, but I
Paul
don't
Harvey.
know
Okay.
the whole
So
story.
when I grew up, Paul Harvey was one of the things that my dad would always play on the radio. And he had this program called The Rest of the Story, and he would always talk about, well, you've heard about Little Debbie. Well, this is how Little Debbie, da, 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 and now you know the rest of the story. He'd give you the story of how Frank Baum created The Wizard of Oz. He'd give you the story of how the electric light bulb really happened. He'd give you these stories, but he'd always add one little thing that you weren't aware of. And in doing this thing that we do, I heard something today that really, I was writing in and a friend of mine sent it to me. He said, when God gave us the experience of the Garden of Eden, he said, great, you've enjoyed that, okay? You realize that wasn't exactly what you wanted, but if you want another one, here's a hoe, here's a rake, here's some tools, go build one.
Yeah.
And in this world, each one of you are going out, you're doing what you need to do, you're building, you're taking your tools and you're putting it to work to create your specific version of what you want to build for yourself, to create what this Garden of Eden can be if we're all working together. And God wouldn't have put all of us on this planet if he hadn't wanted us to figure out how to work together. And sometimes, Donnie and I were talking about it, he's got a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
He puts some amazingly odd people together with completely different structures and values and things like that. And with a common commitment to be a contribution, we can get through a lot more together.
Absolutely.
It's not looking about who's right, it's about what's the solution.
That's right. And I think that's a metaphor, honestly, for our country right now. We're not going to get too deep into it, but I do think that God does put us all together. And then he steps back and goes, okay, I want to see you guys
What you gonna
work
do?
together,
You were like,
to
wait,
make this work.
wait, but she.
Yeah, you're out of the shot. I want to be able to see you go. We're gonna have a different camera setup next week, but I think what you said is so true. God does have a sense of humor, and we're supposed to take the tools that he gives us and to be of service, to be of contribution, and use our talent, skills, and abilities to make this world a better place. Not just build our businesses, not just build our careers, not just to go out and just make money, but to actually work together to make this world a better place. And we always come from a place of love and contribution, and we don't always get it right, but if we do, well, with tree work we do. But I'm talking about, I meant like, in communicating how we feel or working together. Sometimes there can be tension, like with any company. But the one thing I do believe that's great about our company is we lean on love, and we lean on trying to understand each other better and do better. And I think if we just all did that in the world, it would make this world a better place.
Well, I think one of the things that we've been working on is how do we look for the solution?
Yeah.
It's not about who's right. There's going to be times when we don't have all the data. We can count on that. That is one thing that's reliable. We're never going to have all the data. We're never going to have all the information. We're never going to know what happened in that other person's day, what's going on in the things that they're handling that we don't know about. But if we work for a solution for right now, now we can create, and then we say, okay, well, what's going to be the solution for a week from now? What's going to be the solution for a year from now? And we can start playing inside of that space. And specifically in the tree and landscaping space, we can help create a vision that is 5 years out. Let's back it up. What happened before? Well, we can't change anything. How do we be responsible for what we're dealing with now and move that forward? And, there's the whole tree of life analogies. There's, if the roots run deep.
We're getting ready to get philosophical.
No, we're not. I'm saying it's there. There's plenty of that. Everybody knows about all that stuff. But the idea is if we keep playing inside this garden that we've got, and we do the work, we pick up our rakes, we pick up our chainsaws, we pick up the things that we need and go tend to this beautiful city that we have. I mean, Atlanta's a city of trees. There's no other city in America that has the amount of trees that we do, the air quality that we do. And we have an opportunity to continue to be good stewards of this. And speaking of being good stewards, I've got a phone call I've got to go return. And
I got to go talk to some customers.
All right, so we love you. Your eyes are pretty, even though we can't see them. We know.
Please.
We'll talk to you later.
And we'll see you next week.
All right, bye for now.